Thursday. I'm off today. I was off yesterday. I haven't been at work since Friday. I don't know what to do with myself. In a good way, I do know what to do with myself. Um, I cherish all the days that I don't have to be at work. It's amazing. It is amazing because I don't like being at work. I don't know. I'm just not one of those. But I am one of those who has bills to pay, and there's no choice about whether I do a 9 to 5 or not at this moment. Now, I will not ever let anyone tell me that the only route for me to live is that 9 to 5 life, but at the same time, the alternatives are not so easy. I add good afternoon. I believe nobody else is here but you. I just started this a minute ago, but thanks for joining. I have a couple of things that I'm doing, so I turned on my camera for the sake of the algorithm, because the algorithm is unforgiving. I took maybe 3 days off and have found that as I have come back a couple of times, there's way less people that get referred to the channel, because the way the algorithm works is it kind of feeds you a little bit as long as you always have things in circulation. And since I almost never at this point post pre-recorded content aside from the shorts that I put up, the algorithm, my algorithm depends solely on my lives for the most part. So if you support me via my lives, always make sure to like the lives, comment, drop a comment after the live gets posted, because that helps too, and subscribe to the channel. It is a very windy 30 something degree day in New York City. We had a little bit of snow flurries earlier. It seems like the snow flurries are done, but it's cold outside. And when it gets this cold, see, my motivation, I always say that I like colder weather, but when I say colder, I mean 50 and up. Because I think this weekend, well, we had a 63 degree Saturday, but I think Sunday was 50 something, and it rained. Aside from the rain part of the equation, I liked the 53 degree weather. I loved the 63 degree weather. Anything between 50 and like 75, I can rock with that. Once we get into the 40s and 30s, that's when I'm like, this is a bit much. Can't do it right now. So, shout out to all the veterans, and the people who have had family members who were veterans, yeah, Veterans Day, that's when I'm off. In terms of how I'm doing all right. I've talked about this before. There are things in my life right now that I wish could change. There really is. But to a degree, that's everybody. Nobody's life is really perfectly exactly how they want it to be. And if I think about where I was this time last year, I have to be thankful for where I am right now, because I was in the worst of ways. And the thing is, nobody cares. And it might sound harsh to say, about my own self, but it's harsh, but it is a harsh truth. that nobody actually cares when you are going through a tough time, a struggle, or anything like that, because everyone has their own things going on, and then, somebody's always going to look at you and say, I've had a harder time than you, or I've had it worse than you, which could be true, which could not be true, because a lot of people just look at what's happening on the surface. Um, the struggles that I have mentioned going through, the person who sees me on the street or the person who sees me in the office is not going to know those struggles unless I go out of my way to specifically talk to that person and tell them about it. And even still, because I kind of maintain a pleasant attitude, it's still like, well, it must not be that bad because your reaction is not that bad. Well, that's a learned, conditioned thing for me based on years of going to therapy. Because pre-therapy, Mark was like, however I feel, it's going to show on my face. It's going to reflect in my attitude. If I'm going through something tough, everyone around me has to go through that tough thing with me, or I'm not going to mask or hide that I'm going through that tough time or thing. And people have confused that. Wow, I just remembered where I was going. People have confused that for inauthenticity. Matter of fact, I thought I was being inauthentic to other people if they asked me how I was doing, and I did not give them a full picture or idea of how I was doing. Like if I was doing terribly, I felt like if I don't tell them that I'm doing terribly, then I'm lying. Well, there's two things. One, not everybody needs to know everything that's happening with you. But number two, the therapist that spoke to me about this mindset change kind of gave me fake it till you make it. Not in those exact words, but act like you're in a better position than you are, and your position will kind of catch up to you. Like if you're always gonna act like the world is crumbling around you, then that's pretty much what it's gonna be. You act like it, you become it. That's just the way of the world. So maintaining a positive outlook is something that I always try to do. And if you see that if there's ever a time when I can't do that, something is terribly wrong. Something is very wrong. It's a learned skill that I have learned how to do better than most. Anyways, thanks for tapping in. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell to get notified of when I drop some more great content. Thank you all. Enjoy your day.